Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Jennifer Gabat, and I'm here with my husband in El Dorado, Arkansas, and we want to welcome you tonight. We have a very special night. I am really excited about telling you about this amazing product that me and my husband have been taking for about 21 days now, right, love?
Yeah, about 21 days.
About 21 days. And it is called Ultracell. And it has changed our lives to the point where I think that I wanted to share this amazing experience with everybody else. So that's one of the reasons why we invited y'all today to learn more about this.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when I was introduced to this, within the third day, I was wanting to stand on the rooftops and shout it to everybody. Because this stuff is amazing. I'm telling you, I've been hurting for so long. It's just amazing that all of these doctors get within 3 days of taking 20 drops twice a day. It's like I'm a totally different person.
I know it was the same way with me too. I started taking this. Luckily, I had been experiencing some major depression this year. And unfortunately, I had lost 3 of my major family, my mom, my stepmom, and my stepdad, and we was very close with all of them. And so I've been struggling with depression for a very long time. And it wasn't until my sister actually introduced this to me a few weeks back that is the reason why we started trying this. And what we noticed was, or myself, was that not only was I struggling with depression, I wasn't leaving my house. I was not doing anything. I mean, I was barely getting out of my pajamas. And I was going into a very dark place until I found this. When I started taking this, within the first day, I felt a very calmness come over me, and I was having a panic attack right before the mail came. So I was very anxious to get started on this 7-day challenge. And once I started it, I really felt the ease of it. And then 3 days into it, I started noticing that I was feeling well enough to get up and get out of the house, and I actually was feeling good. And then it came to the 5th day, I caught myself singing to myself. It was amazing the transformation in just a little bit of time that this simple product has transformed our lives in that short of a moment.
Now, I want to tell you, before she goes on any further, about the miracle involved with Jennifer. For the past year, she hasn't really been anywhere. She goes to her best friends, and that's it. Other than that, she doesn't do any shopping. She doesn't go out. She's just become a hermit, because her depression was just hard. So I ended up having to do everything. I'm talking about, I did all the groceries. I was doing everything, cooking, cleaning, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it was just a struggle for her. Within 3 days, she was out in the city, going around telling people about this. She was literally and I would ask her, I say, well, can you pick up some milk or something while you're out? She goes, oh, sure. And I'm like, okay, what happened to my wife? I don't know what they call it, but thank you, Jesus. Because it was a totally different person, and has been since then. There's joy, there's brightness, and it's all because she's not feeling that anxiety anymore.
Mm-hmm. And so that's one of the reasons why we invited you for this information about the 7-day challenge. Okay, so let me ask y'all that's watching this. How are you experiencing inflammation, pain, depression? We've got so much stuff that this has been proving to help relieve some of the effects and the inflammation and pain. And it's just a lot of good natural stuff that we want to share more about the science and also the health benefits that comes along with this Ultracell. So not only has it helped me, so that's what we're going to be covering in this short webinar, but I also want to tell you about what it's actually done with Paul too before we get into the science into it.
Yes.
So
Can everybody hear me well? Okay.
Yeah.
In 2013, my wife and I were teen truck drivers. And we were coming back. I'd been having these little spells where I would pass out, but I would never go completely out. And it never happened when I was behind the wheel. But I was coming through Texarkana, Arkansas one day, and I passed out completely. How I got the big truck to the shoulder of the road, I still to this day do not know. But I mean, I passed out, was on the floor. Jennifer woke up, said, "What's wrong?" I said, "This is it. There's something wrong. I've got to go home." So she took me home. For 2 years, this is what I've had for 2 years to find out what the problem was with me. I've been to cardiologists. I've been to neurologists. I've been to several hospitals, had 2 operations, and still nobody knows what was wrong with me. One of the things that I was having, one of the major pains was on the side of my head, I had this, they called it neuropathy. It felt like my head was on fire, like they were pins and needles being stuck in me constantly. Just the wind blowing my hair would set it on fire, and it was unbearable. And it got to where I couldn't wear a hat, I couldn't cut my hair. I mean, I could not cut my hair because it hurt so bad. And so, unfortunately, I only washed it, showered it once a week, but it was just too much. It literally kept me from doing all kinds of stuff. And I would get these flare-ups. It would come and it would last for a couple of weeks, and it would go away. Then it would come back. And this last time it came back, it's been lasting about 3 months. Well, they put me on gabapentin 2 years ago. The problem with the gabapentin was I didn't do anything. All I did was sit here, and I would get up in the morning, do the gabapentin, lay in front of the TV, and wait until my next dose. That's all I did. That wasn't living. So I quit it, and I decided I would rather live with the pain than to live this kind of life, because this kind of life wasn't living. So I decided, when Penny told Jennifer about this, I thought, you know what, I tried some CBD oil before, but I have no idea where it came from. I tried it, it didn't do anything for me. It did not do a thing. So when Penny introduced her to this, and I said, "Oh, what is doing, Jen?" I'm like, my gosh. But I took it, and I am not kidding you. I took it, and 3 hours later, the pain started subsiding. The next day, it was literally gone. I would get a faint hint every now and then. The third day, I'm sitting here, it's on a Sunday, and I looked at my wife and I said, "Would you cut my hair?" And she started laughing, and she said, "What?" And I said, "Would you cut my hair? I'm tired of looking like this." And I said, "I don't feel a thing." Let me tell you what now, it's been 3 weeks. It is literally, it has not hurt. It has not hurt at all. It's not affecting my sleep. It's completely gone. Now, I've spent over $100,000. I am not kidding you, to try and figure out why my head was hurting and why I was having all these troubles. I spent a little bit of money and got a healing like you wouldn't believe. So yes, do I want to shout it from the mountaintops? You better believe it. If you don't at least try it, how will you ever know how great this stuff can be?
Exactly.
So, I mean, I'm a totally different person. Jennifer and I are both, it's like people, we went out last night for the first time in God knows how long. Went to a friend of ours' house. I played mandolin and they played guitars, and we went over and played. And they're like, "Wow, we haven't seen you in 3 months. How y'all doing?" So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us, Paul. So what I'd like to do now is actually introduce you to Lisa Bell and Hal Henson. Lisa is an REN, and she's got even more longer names behind her. And Hal has been a business owner for several years now. Have you not, Hal?
Yes.
So if y'all would like to come out and just tell a little bit of your story, and then we'll get into more of the science and the company in just a moment.
Okay. Thanks, Jennifer. Well, I'm Hal Henson. I live in Northwest Arkansas. I've lived there since 1988. And during that time, I've owned real estate businesses, bought and sold properties, owned a limousine business and pressure washing and construction business. Anyway, a lot of my work over the last 15 years or more, I've been hands-on and done work with my body. And at 56 years old, I have had a lot of from like sports and skiing accident when I was in college that kind of messed up my shoulder. I just have a lot of joint pain. And back in early October, my younger sister, who lives about an hour from me, who Lisa had shared Ultracell with just a couple of weeks before that, she gave me a bottle that you held up a minute ago like that. And I took it for a week and had been invited to play golf with some friends. And normally I turn them down just because of the pain, and a lot because I just don't enjoy playing golf because of the pain in my shoulder and knees. But I went because I wanted to hang out with the guys. And I played and played pretty well, surprisingly. But the main thing is I played pain-free. And so I called my sister and said, what is this stuff? And she told me it was hemp oil, and I didn't know anything about that. About a week later, I found out a lot about it. But the other effect it's had for me is that, you know, I don't mind telling people at all. I tell people a lot that I was diagnosed almost 18 years ago with bipolar disorder. And I've been on medication for that, an extended release, and I've maintained that use of that probably 90% of the time over 18 years. And when I got off of it, anytime for different reasons, whether I ran out of money, whatever, I could tell the difference. And my friends and family would say to me, Hal, are you on your medication? It would just take a couple of days, and I would either be a little bit more manic or oftentimes depressed. So since I've been on the hemp Ultracell since it's been a little over 2 months now, since October 18th, I really got involved with the business, and I have been off my Depakote with the doctor's awareness of that. And so, and honestly, I think that my energy, my focus, my sleep pattern has really, it's been life-changing. So those are the real obvious things for me that this product has helped me with. And then I've encountered so many friends and other family members. My mom is 81 years old, and she had an immediate reaction, positive, to the sublingual and then the topical, which she put on her hip after having some cancer surgery, where she'd limped for almost a year, and in 3 days that limp is gone. And she's a very strong, active woman at 81, and really the only time we'd ever seen her down was with that surgery, and she was down for about a year, just limping around, and we were seeing her other health go down as a result of it because she wasn't being as active. But in 3 days, literally, my whole family saw the difference in her. And as a result, a lot of them have actually got into business from seeing her kind of expand. It's kind of spread out through the family because, you know, just family knows. When family sees a difference, I'm telling you, husbands and wives and close family members, when they see a difference, that makes a difference. So that's kind of my story of the product.
Well, thank you, Hal. And Lisa,
yeah, I love hearing Hal's story because, as you know, Jennifer, I was introduced to this just a little bit over a year ago by a dentist, a holistic dentist. And my background is a former ICU nurse. So I grew up in a healthcare family. My dad was a doctor. My mom was a nurse. And so that's kind of the way that I was conditioned to think that healthcare, which we really know as disease care, was the way to go. And I have a 25-year-old son who Dr. Gant, the person who introduced me, didn't know at the time, had significant brain health issues, that we had been on this very depressing 5-year pharmaceutical nightmare journey that had ended up with side effects and hospitalizations and really a broken kid, broken family, broken mom. I was dragging him from doctor to doctor and nothing really seemed to work. So when Dr. Gant, you know, mentioned this very special form of hemp derived CBD, I immediately thought of my son, and who had sworn off doctors, and literally in 3 days he was just a different kid on this oil. And all the best of my healthcare knowledge, I had never ever heard of this therapy before. And so now, over a year later, you know, we see and hear stories like yours, like Paul's, like Hal's, and I'm just so grateful that I listened to my son, who said, you know, I feel different, I feel better. And his story now has inspired so many. You know, I live in Evansville, Indiana. Hal's in Arkansas. You guys are, you know, in southern Arkansas, and, you know, Penny and her team is in Mississippi. And we're just seeing that now people are able to get off medications, especially people with chronic pain, anxiety, and sleep issues. People who have been on multiple medications are able to live lives of peace and hope, and really being able to live drug-free, and not just pharmaceuticals, but this helps decrease the addictiveness of so many things like, opiates and marijuana and alcohol and sugar. So we've all experienced just, I didn't have those profound effects in my own body. I saw my son come back to life. Have been very health oriented and nutrition over the last several years. So when I started, I thought I would have the same response that my son did. And we find that people who are already in this homeostasis or balance that we're trying to achieve through the endocannabinoid system, sometimes it takes them longer, and sometimes it shows up in our blood work. But this is literally a plant that everyone should be taking, should be on, because nobody knows when they're endocannabinoid deficient. Hopefully we'll have more time to develop that. But I know we've got some amazing leaders on this call tonight who are here because they feel a moral obligation to share their story.
Yes.
And I'm grateful that you're hosting this call for us.
Well, thank you guys for, like I said, I don't know enough about it to be knowledgeable enough, but I know that it can change people's lives and help so many others.
Yeah, we just know what it's done for us, Also, I wanted to put something else in there that I didn't tell anybody, but I've actually lost 5 pounds in the past 3 weeks.
I have too.
I got to tell you that
Love it.
I have never in my life had a period of time where not only do I not eat as much, but my body says do not eat anymore. And a lot of times that comes to sugar, especially if something has, here around the holidays, Lisa's made some great food. I helped make it, by the way, Paul. I helped out in the kitchen. Not anything like the things you make, because we've had that down in El Dorado, but nonetheless, I literally, even the things I help make, I get, it's like eating, like you eat too many pancakes and you just can't take another bite of pan. That's what it's like for me. And as a result, I know that I have lost body fat. I don't know if I've lost weight because I've been working out, but I know that I have lost body fat. There's no doubt about it. And I have energy like crazy. And I'm telling you, my food consumption has got to have been cut in half. And I weigh 220 pounds. Right. And in pretty good shape, but nonetheless, that's an effect that I was not expecting, and I have heard a number of people who've said that. It was a nice surprise. Yeah, really, really amazing.
And I got to the point where I felt so good that I've started exercising again. So that's even just the energy to be able to do it. And before I lost the weight, I didn't have any energy. And then just because I just accelerated a little bit more. So let's get on with it. No further ado. So let me go ahead and let's talk about this Celeste and the company and all of the good science behind it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. And then there we go. Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So this is the reason why we're here, is the Celeste, the Ultra Care Company. And Lisa, do you want to explain a little bit about our company and going through this, the wonderful benefits of this?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to have Hal start with the company, and then we'll kind of switch voices.
Well, so I'm a guy who really gravitates to leadership and who identifies leadership. And Stephen and Angie Thompson are the founders of this company. And Dr. Derek De Silva is one of the founders of what we call functional medicine in our country. He's our chief medical officer. So when you talk about leaders, the Thompsons have incredible leadership skill, ability, experience with some of the most innovative concepts, and they've always grown business just powerfully. And I have had a conversation just this week with Stephen about leadership and how to develop leadership, and he's always promoting that, not just the business, but raising up people to take ownership of their own businesses and just how this company and product is going. So anyway.
And what I love too is that Celeste was really founded with Dr. Derek De Silva, who is a formulator. And in the world of, now we see with CBDs and the hemp movement that there's a lot of products on the market. Well, Dr. De Silva is one of the best formulators. And so Zalise and Stephen Thompson was very, very thoughtful in selecting De Silva to formulate Ultracell, which is 90% of our sales. We're going to kind of unpack that a little bit as to why in the world of CBDs, this is a unique product.
Yeah, there's so many out there, but what we have is just, it's an incredible advancement in scientific technology and bioavailability, which is critical.
And we might add too, as well, that since Ultracell was brought on board with this company, which was November of last year, the company has grown 2,000%, which is extraordinary.
Yeah. And, we're seeing a projected growth by 2020 of 700%. The thing about it is that there's a lot on, different CBDs. We're not trying to run any others down, but just to, what we're aware of is that we're recognized. And we're known. We're a known entity. Stephen Thompson is a known entity in the world of this kind of business and in this industry, and been recognized by Forbes magazine and many others. And with the Farm Bill passing and President Trump signing it, this whole explosive industry of hemp, we're positioned with this product uniquely in the world, and so we're really excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. This industry is going to be the next major agri-economy, bigger than corn and tobacco in our lifetimes. And so I was in nutrition for 13 years before, which, is a great field, but this is just like a rocket ship taken off right now with the discovery of what science shows us is the ECS, or the endocannabinoid system. And when I was introduced to this over a year ago, there was nothing in my hometown of Evansville, Indiana, that really told us what this recently discovered breakthrough in science was all about. But literally, this is a medical breakthrough, because we understand now that kind of the overriding switchboard or chaperone of the every single body system is controlled and balanced through receptors called endocannabinoid receptors. And so literally every cell in your body has these receptors, and your body has to produce internally something called cannabinoids, which attach to the receptors, and therefore they balance the cardiovascular system, the digestive system, all these different systems interrelating with each other. And so what was interesting is that we had never known of anything that there was a deficiency in these cannabinoids. And my son, Nate, who's gone from doctor to doctor for 5 years, nobody ever said the word because there's really no test for it. But we know that there are certain conditions like migraines and irritable bowel and treatment-resistant anxiety, depression, and fibro that are not so much diseases, but they are deficiencies in this very important system that fuels what's called homeostasis. And so when you are producing enough of them and they are attaching to those receptors, that means that all those organs can interrelate, and they can actually resume health again. They can help the body heal and balance. And we see all sorts of things happening, like people that are in chronic pain, migraines, and seizures, and all sorts of what we consider to be disease states that can normalize with the plant-based version of these cannabinoids.
Yeah. So, kind of I'm not the science background at all, but the way I understood it, I heard a doctor explain this in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The way she said it was, it's like we have this neurotransmitter system that literally sends messages that are like keys that unlock all these systems to function. So the doors open up through the endocannabinoid system. When the hemp oil is put in the body, it unlocks those systems, and they function as they're supposed to, and they need the support, because we can't reproduce the endocannabinoids within ourselves, or at least it doesn't seem that we can. And so with the hemp product, it literally boosts those. And I've often said that the endocannabinoid system functions like the general practitioner of the body, communicating with the rest of the body, telling the body what to do and how to function. And then it gives it the power to do it.
And that's the only thing that explains the multi-system side benefits that somebody would use the phytocannabinoids, the hemp product, which, by the way, has the highest % of these cannabinoids that your body receives as their own internally produced. but that has this such powerful effect. People might be treating chronic pain, but end up sleeping better, having better skin tone. Their cholesterol levels might go down. I mean, it's just so interesting to see when the body is optimized. And so often people who are on pharmaceutical medications that are targeting one organ, everything else is askew. And so just by introducing this plant-based botanical, my son Nate, it affected so many different, he could be around people again. He had less social anxiety. It calmed his central nervous system. He slept better. It helped manage side effects that he was experiencing from other meds. So it just is a multi-system effect, and there are no side effects. It's only side benefits.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about there we go. Go ahead and do that.
And so this really is the solution. We mentioned the hemp plant has the highest percentage of these natural cannabinoids, and it's real important to understand the difference between CBD and hemp. You might want to go ahead and address that.
Well, there's basically two different relatives in the plant kingdom that we know as hemp and cannabis. But the hemp product itself, we have extracted from it through a CO2 process, which is a very pure process of extracting everything within the hemp plant, grown, by the way, organically. In Colorado, we're very careful where we get our product, because the hemp plant itself is kind of known as the sewage plant. Everything that it's planted in, it brings into itself. It sucks it into itself. So what we've got there, we retrieve through a very precise and powerful extraction process. And what we get out of it is like 400 active compounds, which are on the screen here, different types. But the CBD alone is just one aspect of that. And it's limited when we think about people who've extracted CBD alone from cannabis plants, or even potentially hemp plant, but cannabis plants, they're only extracting a very small portion of what's truly available within the plant. And so when we go back to our product, and what we've extracted is up to 400 different compounds and multiple cannabinoids that affect different things. And want to hear a little bit later, hopefully we're going to hear from Marcella, and she's going to tell us about the physical effect, but also the brain function, which is really two different cannabinoids within that plant. And it really makes a difference between body and brain function. And so we want to access both. And the multiple things. So you might tell more about everything else.
Well, yeah, and so what I was very impressed with is the reason Zelise chose a full spectrum oil is because God, the creator, had a great design and the perfect ratio that he created all those compounds that you see on your screen. It's not, as Hal said, just one, not just cannabidiol, which is in CBD, and it's cheap and easy to produce. You stick it in oil and it's not very well absorbed, but it's the most common and most well researched. But what we have, if you can actually think about not just the cannabinoids, which a lot of times people feel the cannabinoids, but you have terpenes and flavonoids that protect tissue from free radical damage. You have vitamins, minerals, and omegas, and the perfect 3 to 6 balance. Literally, that there's proteins. It's like the perfect nutrition, the perfect food. So it's remarkably well tolerated, and it is complete. And there's something that's called an entourage effect, which makes the cannabidiol potentiated. It makes it work better in that full spectrum oil than it would just as a CBD oil.
I learned tonight what the word potentiate means. That's a new word. It's a big word, potentiate. Exactly. Yeah. Multiplied effect, empowered. That's a great word. So our brand, Zelise Ultracell, we have two flavors of our Ultracell hemp oil. We have berry and lemon. It's a preference thing. But then the other thing that we have in that same field is our Ultracell full spectrum hemp topical, which goes directly on the body, and it too is water soluble. And then there are 3 other products that are mimetics, which basically are like boosters to the hemp. There are proprietary blends that, like Ultra Dream, which I take maybe twice a week, but on times when I just really kind of feel like I might not sleep well for whatever reason, which doesn't happen that much. But anyway, Ultra Dream, Ultra Edge, we drive a lot, traveling from city to city. And about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on our drives, typically when we're driving during the day, or we'll do a dose under the tongue, sublingually, the Ultra Edge, which is a cognitive function booster, just to keep us a little more alert and focused. We're on the phone a lot with our team, our partners, and we want to be focused for each one of them. We do a lot of work on the road, and so that helps. And then for me, because of my joints, I'll take from time to time, if I'm doing a lot of walking, working out, or even riding in the car, where oftentimes joint inflammation happens, I'll take our Ultra Ice product, which is to support overall homeostasis. But for me, it kind of helps a little bit of extra boost with some of the fire that comes from time to time with weather changes. Anybody who's had joint issues knows weather change affects joints a lot. And so I'll take that if I feel it. Anymore, I don't expect any pain. So if I feel any at all, I'll take the ice, and it just literally is a boost to the endocannabinoids, or up to the hemp. So those are our main products. And I think we're going to talk about the gold standard, but mainly the superior formulation is what we want to talk about, because of the water soluble effect and the bioavailability. It's so important that people understand this right here. As far as the science, to me, this is the most crucial aspect of what you're going to hear. And so what our technology with Dr. Da Silva as a formulator, what he has done is he makes oil water soluble. That's ultracelling it. The ultracell delivery system, which you see right at the top of the page. So a typical CBD absorbs at about 3 to 6%, which means that when you spend $10, you're going to get about 3 cents in value, or 30 cents in value on what you're putting into your body. Ultracell absorbs up to 30 times more, which means about 90 to 94%. So, and the reason for that is it's water soluble. Our bodies, which is where we're putting the product into our bodies, are 85% water. And so to mix oil with it, though our bodies do need oil, they just don't need the hemp delivered in oil. They need it delivered in water, so our bodies absorb it. It's just so critical that we understand this about this particular science. If I'm going to spend $1, I want to get 90 cents on the value rather than 3 cents on the value. And then the rapid onset, so you can see on the chart that typically the onset of effect is anywhere from 30 to 90 minutes, depending on the individual's experience with it. The Mayo Family Research, is that the name of it?
Mayo Family, yeah, Professional
Research Center tested people, drew their blood on an hourly basis. And what they found was that on average, it was a 30 to 90 minute uptake from a dose, which is sublingual. And it lasts about 12 hours, or they actually stopped testing them, and it retained performance in the body, or that's boosting the endocannabinoids, and it was in the body for at least 12 hours, and they just stopped testing them after 12 hours. So that bioavailability is 94% absorbed, 30 to 90 minute uptake on each dose, and a 12-hour bioavailable period of time. And I dose twice a day. I usually, at first, I used to dose in the evenings, and I found that it was too much of a, it gave me too much energy. And so I'd go to sleep right away, but I'd wake up at 2 in the morning wide awake. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. So I backed it down to like 1 in the afternoon. And that's just my pattern for my body, is 6 or 7 in the morning, and then 2 or 3 in the afternoon is how I take it.
Well, and I mean, I came from the pharmaceutical industry. So seeing that kind of bioavailability, it's not really what you swallow, it's what you absorb. Mm-hmm. So that's not good. That's not, it's amazing to see that kind of, because people are buying an outcome. That's why they use an oil like this. And I've just been blown away at the results, that really up to 80% of people who take this product will notice a difference, as we do with the challenge. Yeah.
So one of the main things that we want people to do is try the product. And many, many people like myself, and I know a number of people, Nate was one, her son, and many others, who in the first 7 days with our challenge, we call it the 7-day health experience, where a small bottle that our company, that we offer, you can take it once a day, twice a day, set your own ideas or goals about what health issues you might hope to see affected in your life. Make no lifestyle changes. If you're on medications, don't get off the medications. I mean, you already have endocannabinoids in your body. So this isn't like we're adding something that isn't already there. We're adding the phytocannabinoid from the plant to boost the endocannabinoids that are already in the body. So there's not going to be a conflict because your body already has these things in them. And then about 80% of people in that first 7 days report something, maybe a little better sleep, maybe a significant change. Now, I will say that people like Lisa, who have been in health and taking care of herself really well for a number of years, that takes them a little longer to see. Actually, with Lisa, one of the amazing stories is with her blood testing. She didn't even know. It was her doctor that asked her, "What's going on with your blood?" Because we've done, I've been your doctor for a long time, and I see a major change in your blood to the positive. So you might address that. Right?
Yeah, well, I've seen multiple people who've just given me their before and after lab data. It's so interesting. This product's called an adaptogen because it tends to go in and find the gaps in your body. But with mine, I had a low hemoglobin. I was always anemic. So much so that my doctor's like, "I don't know how you're getting off the couch." He has had repeated lab work through the years. But he called me after about 9 months on ultrasound, and he's like, "You're normal. Your hemoglobin is normal." It's like, so I have so much more energy from this product. I'm like you, Hal. I have to take it my second dose no later than like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Otherwise, I'm like literally solving math problems and bouncing off the ceiling all night.
Right. So
but I love the energy.
So Jennifer, you're going to address how people can actually access this challenge bottles and maybe the topicals as well. You're going to address that here, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah,
so if you want to try the 7-day health experience, we do have a button below this video that you can actually sign up to do the challenge. It'll take you to another page for you to enter your address for us to ship it to you. And that's usually, like I said, that's what we're saying is that's normally what people start with is the 7-day challenge. And to get on it right now, it is $39 plus that's with shipping and taxes and everything. And that
which you apparently are offering a little discount just for the webinar participants because it's normally retails without shipping for that price. So that's cool that you're offering that.
That's a great deal.
Yeah, so if you get it tonight, you can actually get it for $34.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's kind of what I do in live presentations. I do what we call buy and try, and I'm amazed at how many people want to try it. I will say, too, that we do focus as a company on the 7-day challenge, but I would really hope people would be aware that there are opportunities for them to purchase a larger bottle, and I'm not trying to push for that. But, I would never want anyone to try it for 7 days and they really needed to try it for longer because that's the truth. I mean, the truth is it's not, though it's miraculous in what it is and that we've discovered it and have this bioavailability and what it's done for so many people, it's not like a abracadabra thing. It's just not. And so.
Right. And so if you wanted to get started on that, either click the button below or either get back with the person after this training or webinar is over with to tell them that you would like to get started on the 7-day health experience challenge.
Now,
right.
I want to say something about they have a full range of products. And what I love about them all is all of them have specific areas that they work. Okay, the cream, the UltraCell cream, oh my gosh, if you've got a little bit of a pain, I've had my feet, my right foot, I couldn't even hardly walk because, it hurts constantly. I took and I'm talking about a fingertip. I just dipped my finger in it there and rubbed it on it. And I'm going to tell you something. The pain is gone. My sleep, we have this stuff called Ultra Dream. And I'm going to tell you, I've been taking doxylamine succinate. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but the nurse probably does. But doxylamine succinate is a sleep medicine. It's an over-the-counter sleep medicine. It's not supposed to be habit forming, but you get to where you depend on it. Well, I only sleep 4 hours a night. That's all I've ever done for 28, 30 years. It's 4 hours a night. The first night that I took the Ultra Dream, I woke up the next morning at 8:30. I slept 8.5 hours. I have yet to sleep less than 8 hours since I've started taking this CBD oil and that Ultra Green. I have yet to sleep less than 8. I don't take naps in the afternoon anymore. I'm wide awake, and I do like Hal and Lisa do. It's about 3 in the afternoon. I take my afternoon dose, and that boosts me until it's time to go to bed.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yep, it is. But we're so much more, not only the products too, we also are known of paying it forward.
Yes.
Mm.
So that is another blessing that we do. And so, I mean, every sale is matched in that multivitamins for kids and prenatal for pregnant women. I mean, we're saving lives, and it's globally and also in all of our 50 states. I mean, we're reducing infant mortality up to 29%. So every product that we sell actually saves a life. And so that is a true blessing in itself.
Yep.
But there's several ways that you could actually get involved in this. You can choose which one you prefer. You can actually do the retail, a preferred person, or either you can actually go into the wholesale side of it. And so that's one of the things that I would like to talk about is actually even more involved with, if you see the benefits of this great company, this great product, of how you can bless others with better health, better feeling, better to relieve of all of those aches and pains.
Once you take once you take a CBD oil and you figure out that it works for it, you're going to want to show it to all your friends. Why not take and turn your passion into a business?
Mm-hmm.
Why not turn that into something that will actually help you pay for your own CBD oil? Plus, it'll give you the opportunity to get it in front of a lot more people. Because we all know this stuff. Us that are right here on this live thing, we know what it does. We know.
Yeah. So
we were sold on the product even before the opportunity, but it even got better, the sweeter, with the opportunity that was presented to us.
Right. And so let's just take a minute, just real quickly, to talk about the opportunity, the business opportunity, which all of us are taking advantage of. And so, of course, Lisa is the one who has taken most advantage of it, because she started a year ago in the business, a little over a year ago, and has done real well with it. But there are retail profit opportunities that are straight across the board. It's probably it's just a huge retail profit opportunities when you become an ambassador with us and purchase in volume, take some extra volume to have the massive retail profits, which there's a lot of people that have that position in life where they can do that. Not everybody, but there's some. We have what we call fast start bonuses, where when we share with our friends, they use the product, they share with their friends and become ambassadors and business builders and product users. Then there are some pay that we get from introducing the business to others. And then one of the great things, the way this business is built, is that literally there's 2 positions that people can take within the business, and that is, and both of them are basically what I call next. The next person available, next spot available, next person who wants to become involved in building their own business. And they're literally, everybody, we know everybody here, only because we've been introduced to everybody here in this group that's on the panel tonight. But we were led to each other by each other through relationships. But in between all of us, there are a lot of people that we don't even know who have been placed in our group as a binary team. And that's the topic that we can get into later, but it's a beautiful way to build income and helping other people. There's many bonuses that we can talk about, but the main thing is that, like, we are setting our own hours. We did a lot of leadership calls today, setting our own hours in between going to the gym and eating and talking to people and just setting up phone calls from home. Raining here, a day like today back home in my former business, it would be a wipeout day unless I was working inside. And there's just an unlimited potential of income, mainly because we're in an industry that's just taking off. There is an unlimited potential for income for people. So let's move on from this slide if we can, Jennifer.
Mm-hmm. This one?
Yep. Let's move to this one right here. Binary
Okay.
team. Lisa, why don't you talk about that for a second?
Well, one of the things I love about Zalise, and for those who are just kind of listening in for the first time, sometimes it's kind of mind, you don't really understand the way this works. But what I love about Zalise versus corporate America, which I came from, is in this company, you can decide what income that you want. I mean, literally the sky's the limit. If you look at this chart, you'll see that just with this one bonus, you can earn up to $30,000 a week. This company pays weekly. You know, I didn't know that this business would be viable. I already had a business, 13 years invested in a nutrition business. But what happened is our first, literally we got paid our first week, and our first month was about $1,700 in income. And one of the things that we didn't really go into, but I should mention, is that we have benefits, a very, very generous benefits package. We earned a Jeep in our first 30 days. And from then, we learned that you can just kind of structure the organization. Thank you, Paul. He's giving me a hand clap there. You can earn yours too. But you can look at this chart and see that you can design exactly how much income that you want to earn by the team that you build. And it's really very simple that you can build. You just have two positions, a right team and a left team. And there's a benefit of being on a great team like Jennifer and Paul's and Hal's, Marcella's.
Mary Jo and Penny.
Mary Jo and Penny, is that when you're on a really great team that's growing, you can earn income from who they bring in.
Yeah, and just like I'm looking at the faces on the screen, which, you know, I don't know how this webinar thing really works, but here we are. Lisa, through my sister, introduced the business to me. And then a dear, dear friend of mine that I've just come to know in the last year, I asked her before I even signed up, will you look into this science? Because I so respect her scientific mind. And that's Marcella Piper Terry, who I hope we hear from tonight. But then Marcella has a friend, Mary Jo Perry, who then introduced this business through the internet to Penny in Mississippi, I thought they lived in the same town. They don't really know each other that well at all. They just are in part of the same Facebook groups. And then Penny tells Jennifer and Paul about it. So literally the people on the screen, just the way this binary thing works, you're literally seeing the faces of the people that are in figures on your screen. Lisa, me, Marcella, Mary Jo, Penny, and Jennifer and Paul. And that's just a small picture of the way this looks and the way the team is. And look at us, we're working as a team tonight, doing what Jennifer and Paul know how to do, which is put together a webinar. I don't know how to do what we're doing right now. I'm just talking.
Well, and so I used to feel this just moral obligation to share about science because this product has just been life-changing for my son, for my family. But now, because of the income, I mean, literally in our 4 months doing this very part-time with my son who's had brain health issues, we were able to surpass what took us 4 years to earn with nutrition. And in our 5th month, we surpassed $10,000 a month, and we've doubled it since then. And literally, I mean, the Farm Bill was just passed. You know, this is something that is just getting started. And so that income is real income, and it's very, very achievable, even on a very part-time level, to generate those levels of income.
And I want to address something, because we hear this a lot. I've heard it from my friends. I hear it from people who contact me and say, hey, so-and-so said this. And I just want to address this straight up. There are some people who think they know things about how business is built and this kind of business. This is a relationship and people business. And some people perceive it as what you would call a pyramid. Now, let me just tell you this. If you look up a pyramid in the dictionary, in the Wikipedia, what you'll find is that there's no products in pyramids. And we have not only products, we have multiple products. We have great products. And this is a word of mouth business, a share with your friends business. And, you know, I just want to address that, because that is not what this is. I have a dear friend that I tried to call yesterday for Christmas, who he and his family were taken advantage of years ago, and it was simply a money-to-money, no-product pyramid, and it destroyed their lives. I mean, they still are just torn up today. And, you know, that's a rare thing that somebody actually gets taken on that today. But I'm just saying, I want to address that, because there are people who think that, they'll throw that out there, and that's just absolutely has nothing to do with what we're doing. So I just want to be clear.
Well, and in addition, you know, with the benefits, I mean, people think they know what direct selling is. I've never seen a direct selling company that has this level of benefits.
Right.
which, you know, you can kind of talk a little bit about.
So the first like extra benefit other than the regular income that we already talked about, we have bonuses that the company pays us. We're talking about potentially the fastest company to $1 billion, and they pay out half of what the company earns to us as ambassadors. And part of what they pay to us are bonuses. And the first bonus that we receive, which is called the blessing bonus, where we're given from $100 to $500 by our company, given to us for this intention, to give it away to charities of our choice, to give it away to others. And so I love the idea of being involved with a company that says, we're giving it away. We're giving it in prenatal care to children's vitamins all over the world. And we want to encourage you by giving you money to learn what it feels like to give blessing bonuses to other people. And again, I've referred to Marcella already, and I know that she's hopefully going to address her blessing bonus and what her vision is for that. But then also things from there, like the first level, which Lisa reached in her first month, and I actually did too.
How's it? And Marcella's going to be.
Marcella's really getting close. I mean, really close. And my sister did it, but that's the Jeep bonus, which means the company pays us an additional bonus of starting at $400 a month, and it goes up from there as we continue to grow toward a payment for a Jeep. And we drive around literally our new Zalise Team Unlimited website, or not website, but Facebook page has us with Jennifer and Penny on the brand new announcement of Zalise Team Unlimited. That was Team Evansville, but we've expanded so much that we wanted to really identify where we are, which is we're now unlimited and where we're going. But anyway, the Jeep bonus is there, and we're in in front of Lisa's Jeep. I'm going to get mine or buy hers. You know, the company's paying me $400 a month to help pay for it. So anyway, that's that. And healthcare, which just yesterday we heard from one of our ambassadors, actually Nate, who went to pick up his meds, and he was like, I got my new healthcare card from Zalise Payment, and it was so great for him to pick up his regular meds and pay $25 copay for a $700 a month medication for him.
Wow.
$700. And it's not that, you know, Nate's still on some things that he really needs, and what's really cool is he is trying to moderate toward what's best for him. But nonetheless, to have the company giving Lisa and her family an extra bonus on top of her Jeep payment, on top of her blessing bonus, it's just, you know, the company, it wants us to be successful, and one of the ways that we can become successful is not be stressed over finances. And I mean, I know what it's like to be stressed over finances and how it can paralyze your work and your mentality and your energy. And so anyway, and it goes on up to that. My mom's 81 and she wants the motor coach. I'm sure there's some people out there that want that motor coach. That's on up at a higher level of pay. But hey, I think we're going to get there. You know, driving around with a Zalise wrapped motor coach. We'll come to your city.
We're going to come tailgate with you guys.
Tailgate
Mississippi.
with you, wherever.
Yeah.
So, lots of benefits. There's lots of extra benefits that we're enjoying. So Lisa, do this.
Yeah, and this is just, you know, I'm a nurse, and my dad was a doctor. He died at age 70 in his lab coat, never having experienced really a hobby. So the residual income piece is very real because we are launching a highly consumable product. We cannot keep this product in stock. It works. People will buy it. And as they commit to using about $100 to $200 of product a month, and if you guys continue to build with 4 people just that maybe want this product for better health, we can teach people how to duplicate that and help find 4. It's called the 4x4 company. So if you continue to kind of move that forward, Jennifer, you'll see starting with your first 4, you can earn 5% commission and then continue to duplicate that down 6 generations. That's over 5,000 people consuming, just say 1 bottle to 2 bottles of Ultracell each month. That is literally earning income while you sleep, $20,000 to $40,000 a month just in that one bonus.
And Lisa does not talk about this because she's a very humble person and does not overstate anything. But when she came and introduced in October, she was at the presidential level, but she came to present to us there. She talked about having an income of around $15,000 to $18,000 a month. And then in me talking with her and getting into business, I'm like, look, Lisa, I don't know you that well. My sister does. I'm getting to know you, but I need to know, like, is that for real? And she said, Hal, that's not even as much as it truly is. And so I think maybe October, you've had a $26,000 month of residual income. And I don't know what your average is, but it's well over 20,000 a month now.
It is. And you just decide how big you want to build it. And, this team that you're looking at is just on their way. Anybody that wants to join the efforts, just come join us.
Yeah. So you're a share person. You're not a salesperson. I mean, we're talking tonight. I don't know, Paul's a pretty good salesperson, but nonetheless, we're sharing our stories. And you're going to hear another story, hopefully here in a minute, from Marcella that just impacts us all when you hear it. It's a life-changing thing from someone's very special. But you share your story, you share other people's stories, we have some videos available where you're not out there on your own trying to explain the science. I wouldn't do it in the beginning. It took, I didn't feel confident in sharing the science, but our company had videos that I sent to my friends and family members. And they're very professionally made, just like this slide presentation. And so we have tools to work with to share, and then we share the product in the 7-day challenge, or we talk to our friends about it and have it available for them to buy from us. So there's that. The main thing, if anybody is truly interested in the business side of this, and I know that there's people watching that are interested really only in the product, I get that. But if you're interested at all in building a business or earning extra income, look at this slide right here. I know we've been talking a while, but as a businessman, I've been in the real estate business in Northwest Arkansas, which has been a fast-growing area for a long time. It's a destination place for people to move to for many years. I got into the real estate business right before it boomed. And as a result of that, I did really, really well early on. And there were a lot of other real estate agents, people that became real estate agents at the same time. But what was really cool is that there were so many homes and buyers to deal with that we just exploded. And I was able to do well in the real estate business. The market kind of flattened out after a while, though. And so that changed. I've been in other businesses like this. Long time ago, I got involved in another business that had been around a long time. And I worked really, really hard and worked with some great people. But because they'd been established for so long, I was trying, and Lisa's experience is the same, is that they'd already peaked out. And so what we have now with hemp and the Farm Bill, but in particularly this product, it's getting ready to explode in growth. And so timing and positioning is critical. So with every company like this, there's a formulation period, which take place where they're like, what is our product? How can we refine it? How can we make it the best? How are we going to market it to the world? And they make those decisions and they begin to do it, and they work out some of the kinks, and it's very slow grinding out kind of a process. They're vetting a lot of things for us. And then at the next level, what's that called? Concentration level, where they've got that down and they hit about 50 million in sales. They've worked out kinks, they've added new products, they've seen that the business model works, people are growing. And at the concentration level, that's where we are now. After concentration, there is a boom period, an explosion period that takes place. And so those of us who come in at this level have an opportunity that 5 years, that opportunity is not going to be there as explosively as it is now. We don't know exactly, but it's been projected, not by us, but by people who study this, that the hemp business could be a $22 billion industry in the next 3 years. And there are some people who are even using the number $1 trillion industry. Now, we have only a part of that in this delivery method. The hemp's used for many other things, but still, if we had a 25% of a $1 trillion pie in the next 10 years as ambassadors and people in this business, that's a number I almost can't comprehend, and I can comprehend pretty big numbers. So anyway, that's really for those that are business minded and looking for revenue stream for themselves, want to one, either have a little bit of extra income, or two, build a big business like we're doing, and really take a serious look at this.
Let me say one thing before we move on, Hal. A lot of people who are watching this are not going to understand the importance of the Farm Bill and what it's literally done. Hemp CBD oil has been illegal in a lot of states people were still buying it there, but it was still illegal in there because if it had even a trace of THC or if it was from the hemp plant, it was illegal. When they passed the Farm Bill, they took it off and it's no longer Schedule 1, so now it's an agricultural commodity. So the time to get in is right now when they've just opened up the doors for everybody to start growing hemp and start finding new ways, you know, for the benefits of hemp. This is the time right now.
Yeah, and there are still some, you know, still some responses and things that we're working through. FDA says certain things, so forth, and it's not negative. It's all positive. It's just coming to educate not only the general public, but also doctors and our government are not fully educated on what it is. But that time is coming and coming quickly. So getting started, there's opportunity for people to get started with us. This is how we build the business. We have 3 levels of entry into the business. You become a wholesale distributor for yourself, and you can do this in the really business, what I call bossing up business way, which is what I did, and now Marcella has. I can't recall where Jennifer and Mary Jo. I think Mary Jo maybe be a gold by now. I'm not sure, but anyway, coming in at the gold level gives you an opportunity to have multiple 7-day challenges in your possession to sell to other people to earn your money back. But the main thing is to introduce them to the product. When I came into the business, I said, this is a business. I need product. I'm going to purchase this kit, make my money back, which I did very quickly. But most importantly, I had product to share with other people. That's how I got to the Jeep bonus in the first month. You know I talk fast, but I want to build the business fast too. So.
Well, and you know what I love is when you look at the options before we even kind of review them, every single one of those bottles represents a story. You had a mini
that's great.
That had an amazing story. I know Marcella has an amazing story. I would love to hear her story.
Yeah, I don't know when we're going to hear from her, but I can't wait to hear from Marcella. Probably now is the time, actually. But anyway, people can come in at bronze, silver, or gold, and it's pretty self-explanatory, and they can check with the people that shared the business with them tonight.
Okay, good deal. Okay. Well, thank y'all so much for covering all of that great information. And so, I mean, who would like to come out and just share some of your amazing stories of that? Now, before you do that, we are at gold. We saw the opportunity to get in at gold. And guys, I've only had my products for 21 days. And I have already recouped my money from my investment because I'm sharing the product.
There you go.
So it is very possible to, receive your investment as soon as you get it back, So.
And that also, Jennifer, that gold kit is really designed to immediately earn that retail. I mean, you can earn $1,000 as you retail that out, and people have sold that before it comes in. I mean, it is incredible what the demand is for hemp right now.
Marcella's the master at that. I don't know about you other guys. Marcella is a master at pre-selling. It is amazing what she has done. Her and Mary Jo, I think Mary Jo's done some of the same thing. I don't know. I can't keep up with you guys, but we're trying to. We're learning a lot from you guys.
Well, I don't know if am I muted? Can you hear me okay?
No, I can hear
you. Okay. Yeah. No, I went in, I actually went in at bronze, and I upgraded within just a couple of days because I could see that it was going to be a very beneficial thing. And the response that I had during the 7-day challenge was just way beyond my expectations. I started taking it, hoping that I would get some improved sleep and reduced pain. I got that in the first 2 days. The first night I had improved sleep. The next day I had no pain whatsoever. And I have been diagnosed with something called CRPS, which is a horrible pain, complex regional pain syndrome. And it's called the suicide disease because so many people kill themselves because the pain is so severe. I was doing really well because I got great treatment from a functional medicine doctor, but I still had some breakthrough pain, and I was hoping that that the Ultracell would help with that, and it did immediately. The third day, I had greatly improved digestion. By the second week, my memory and my cognitive function was so much improved that for the first time in years, in the last few years, I have been diagnosed with PTSD and CRPS and cognitive decline. As a result of chronic inflammation. And I really didn't think I would ever work again. And during the second week on Ultracell, my memory and my cognitive function was so much improved that I am not only working again, but working amazingly well and continuing to have improved benefits. So what I have done is just shared the product and my experience with others who have had similar issues with chronic pain or with memory problems or children with autism and ADHD and the same kinds of issues from chronic inflammation and toxicity. And the reports that I'm getting back from people who are trying the 7-day challenge are just really nothing short of miraculous. And people want to, when they try that 7-day challenge, it's not a gimmick. I mean, people really do have excellent results and they want more. So then they want to find out, how can I get this on a regular basis? And that's when people are starting to sign up. They're coming in as ambassadors. Some of them just want to come in as so they can get the product for themselves at wholesale and for their families. And that's totally fine. And this is a company that they want you to use the product. So you're not going to get, if that's what you want, then you're not going to be pressured to build a business. But if you do want to build a business and you want financial freedom, this is the company to do that with. And I'm so excited about the possibilities for myself and for the people that I really care about. And like Hal was talking about with the projected growth of this industry, of the hemp business and of this CBD and hemp supplements, which is what Ultracell is, the gold standard, water soluble, full spectrum hemp organically grown in organic soil. There's nothing else like it. And, we are going to take a big piece of that pie of the growth in this industry. And that growth is going to take a projected $83 billion away from the pharmaceutical industry, just in people coming off of pain medications. And when you add in people coming off of medications for ADHD and anxiety and sleep, that number is projected to go into the trillions of dollars. And with I'm so excited about the potential of what this company means for people who have been harmed by the greed of big pharma. And so my goal, my personal goal, is to build a hempire where I have 100 gold level ambassadors working this business and getting into that level where they're making $500 a month blessing bonus. And that if I have 100 people in my organization who are making that $500 a month blessing bonus, that's $500,000 a month that we can turn around and donate to build. My goal is to build autism trusts for adults with autism and with neurodevelopmental disabilities, to provide a future for so many of those people that the greed of big pharma has harmed. So that's my personal goal, and I'm really excited about it because I can see it happening.
Thank you, Marcella. Yes.
That's awesome.
And she is doing it. I'm telling you, she is building this business, and she has some people that are learning from her, and all, y'all. We met you guys through her efforts, and that's just, we haven't had a chance to meet Mary Jo yet. But we met Penny and Jennifer, and immediately felt like we were hugging each other, coming and going. There was just an immediate connection with you all, and I don't know if we hugged Paul, but he was around.
I think Paul is that great graham cracker.
Yeah, we're not going to tell him what we call that.
Yeah, we're not
Well, I just, when I first talked to Mary Jo about this, I was like, I'm so excited because this is an opportunity for so many of us who've known each other in what I call my movement, our community of people who have vaccine injured children and have had, we've connected over something that's been so painful for so many of us, but to be able to improve our lives and improve the lives of so many people that we really care about with a product that actually helps and that targets so many of the areas. Like, you know, with me, it's a genetic vulnerability and a toxic insult. And for me to have, you know, improved sleep, decreased hyper arousal, and improved cognitive functioning and improved digestion and decreased pain, all of those areas that are so important for so many of the people that we care about. And then to be able to help people with a product like Ultracell, this amazing product that works so quickly and in so many different levels, but then to also be able to help and to work together in such a joyous endeavor, you know, that is going to bring not only financial benefit to our families in addition to the health benefits, but a future for so many of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
sure.
I want to say one thing real quick. Like, I have a friend of mine who is finishing up his doctorate in mathematics. He's also involved in some of this research about how drugs are delivered in the blood cell. I mean, he's gotten down to the mathematical formula to where he can target an individual cell as it's streaming by in the bloodstream. And I was talking to him about CBD oil, and he's sort of like, yeah. And I said something, and he perked up when I said it. And he said, say that again. I said, well, our CBD oil, and he's a good friend of ours, so I trust his judgment. I said, our CBD oil is water soluble.
Yep.
He looked at me and he smiled and he says, you know, only the best medicines are water soluble.
Yep.
And so he's taking it himself now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I had tried. I told, when Hal approached me, my initial response was, "Yeah, good luck with that," because I had taken, when I was so sick with CRPS and just not able to function at all. Several of my friends sent me different brands of CBD oil, and I tried some of the best. You know, the things that were advertised as being the best. And I really wanted them to work, but they didn't. They didn't work for me. And this one is water soluble and full spectrum. So you get the full benefit of the hemp plant in a form that the body is actually able to absorb and use. And that is what makes the difference.
Yep.
When he said that validated it for me.
And for some of you, and I'm just going to say this is our first webinar, and for some of you, it has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that Lisa Bell came to Northwest Arkansas and presented this business. But I said, you know, I can follow that person's lead. I love what they've got in the business. And sometimes for some people, your life can change even beyond the physical aspect of this business, because you never know who you're going to meet along the way. And a beautiful connection takes place, and that's true in many levels of love, and we're discovering that in this business, and we look forward to, you know, growing and loving other people and helping people discover who they are when they're really healthy, what, you know, redream their dreams. I know, Marcella, you know, for you, what I saw happen with you is not only the positive aspects of the product, but what you got excited about was really bringing a dream back for you, which is to stay involved in injured families, and not only be involved, but to give them a new level of hope, and you're doing that. So
yeah. Yes.
Indeed.
And so Penny, do you want to come out and tell a little bit, because I would not know this unless my sister had introduced it. I mean, it was a true blessing to me. And Penny actually reached out to Mary Jo to start this this little triangle, or not triangle, but the succession of our friendship so quickly. I know I didn't say it right. They'll call Jennifer.
You did fine.
So let me unmute Penny. All right. Unmute.
That's cool to unmute your sister.
There you go. Hopefully I can unmute her. I can't unmute you. Try and.
Penny, you need to unmute yourself.
Unmute now. Okay. Try it now.
No.
Mary Jo, what about you?
You're muted, Mary Jo.
Yeah, they're muted.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess Penny and I kind of were connected through the same community that Marcella and I were connected through. You know, I have a child that had a bad reaction to a vaccine. I'm in a community of families of children who have been vaccine injured, and there are so many things that CBD oil helps with when you're talking about autoimmune and neurological issues that, you know, while my heart is for helping people and not necessarily to have a business and make money, you know, it's nice that I can provide something to people, an opportunity where, you know, it'll help them, and then my family gets some benefit of the compensation, you know, doing it. But I saw Marcella when I first heard about this, and I've looked at CBD oil a little bit, but I was never gave it a whole lot of attention. But when I saw Marcella's testimony, I know Marcella really well. 100% trust her. 100% trust her sincerity. I am not a salesperson. I do not like soliciting people to try to make money. That is not my thing. I like to help people, and that's where my heart is. And I know that's the same thing with Marcella. And when she said that this CBD hemp oil helped her, I believed it. And I got excited about it. I just, you know, so I got in touch with her. I said, I want to be your Mississippi girl. Send me a couple of bottles. And, you know, I was taking it. I don't really remember that I had anything in mind that I was looking for improvement in. I've got celiac disease, but I had not had a whole lot of time to really research that CBD oil can actually help with that. But I just remember that we got our 2 trial bottles, my husband and I, in the mail. And after dinner one night, we opened them up and we took our first dose. Now, for a year and a half, I had tendonitis in my feet, over a year and a half, to where when I woke up in the morning, I would walk like an old lady till my feet got loosened up. And then if I sat for a while and get up, and I've got 2 teenage boys that make fun of the way I walk like an old lady. Well, after the first dose that night, the very next morning I got up, I did kind of my morning routine, went to the bathroom, came to the kitchen, made coffee, and it dawned on me that my feet were not hurting. Wow. And it was just that fast that I noticed a difference. And as long as I'm taking Ultracell, I have 0 pain in my feet. And, wow, you know, I can still feel that I've got the little bit of tightness there, but it's getting better all the time. And I do think that some of that and some of the other muscle and joint issues that I've had are from having celiac disease and probably having some vitamin and mineral deficiencies and having, you know, a damaged gut. But just seeing how that just overnight, how that helped me, I was so blown away by it that I do feel a moral obligation to share it with people. Yes. And I have to be honest, I've probably sold, I know I've sold over 80 of the mini bottles. Wow. I've been doing this a month. I have not had to solicit one person. I put a post on Facebook and said, you know, this is Ultracell, and, you know, this is why I think it's the best. And I have just been inundated. And I'll order a 12-pack of minis, and they're sold before they get to my house. Yes. And so the product does sell itself. And now I'm starting to have people coming back now that are wanting, you know, they're wanting to get it every month. And, you know, it's really cool to have a product that helps people, and that you don't have to put on this big sales pitch. That's not my thing. I want people to have something that really helps. And it's exciting to have people coming with children that have these problems, and the hope that this would really help them is just huge for me. Children with schizophrenia that can't tolerate THC, which Ultracell, you know, is the only brand that I know of that has 0.0% on the bottle with the QR code to the batch test. I mean, that's huge for a child that
Yes.
has and right now this one child that I'm thinking of, they're trying to up her dose. She's taking a fat soluble hemp oil, and it's costing them a fortune because they're having to give her such massive doses with the percentage of absorption being so low, like what 3 to 6%, with a hemp oil that's not water soluble, that it's costing them like $90 a week.
Wow.
And you know, and with Ultracell, it's going to be a lot cheaper for them, and they don't have to worry about the THC with that little girl, because for those who don't know, THC can actually cause schizophrenia in children and in adolescents. So, but I don't know what the future is, and this, all I know is that I'm hanging on tight, and it's just taking off, and I'm just enjoying it. You know, I'm enjoying it.
I think that's the truth.
I'm into that, Mary Jo. Thank you so much for.
We need to wrap this up. It's been a
Penny,
while.
can you get unmuted? Can you unmute yourself? I don't know.
Penny, try pulling down from the top of your. Are you on a phone?
She's on an iPad.
Okay.
Well, if she cannot get unmuted, guys, like I said, I want y'all to at least think about considering doing the 7-day health challenge. Again, get back with the person that has invited you to this webinar, because we want to just spread the love, the blessings to as many people as we can. And so you can get started today, just because tonight for $34. And all we need is your shipping address to us. And if you would like to really consider the business side of it, you need to get in touch with those that, again, that invite you, and talk to them about becoming the ambassador. It's very easy. You will have full support, and it's a wonderful team and a wonderful product.
The greatest thing about this Ultracell is it sells itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
It is a quality product produced by a quality company that has the entire public's best concerns.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be honest with you, here's what I say, and I tell all my friends: what do you have to lose but the pain? What do you have to lose but the pain?
Yeah. And you get your wife back too.
Exactly.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what.
I love having him back too.
It is, people, you really have no idea what a pleasure it is to see her smiling all the time. This stuff works great for anxiety and all that. And if you talk about anxiety, this woman was so anxious. I mean, come on, she couldn't even participate in life. And look at her now.
Mm-mm.
Within 3 days, she was saying, we need to do a get together. And she went out in the town and started organizing, not here at the house, at a place of business, to get people to come. She went out door to door. This is not somebody that I know. It's a different person.
But it was just because I was so amazed by the product, I had to share it. I just felt compelled to do it. And so that's the reason why, I mean, I didn't mind going out and just, praising it. And so, guys, unfortunately, Penny's not going to be able to come on. I want to thank every one of you for coming on and sharing your touching stories with us about the product, the company. And guys, again, thank y'all for joining us. And if y'all would like,
can you hear me?
We do have Penny.
Can you hear me?
Yay! Okay, go ahead, Penny.
Okay. I pulled up the screen. There we go. Hello, everybody. It's so great to be here.
So, Penny, tell us a little bit about, your experience with the Ultracell, and then we're going to wrap this up.
Okay, so I'm a part of MPVR, which is Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights. My granddaughter was diagnosed autistic. She was our first granddaughter. And so a little backstory. She is 4.5 years old. So not knowing that she was on the spectrum, and having a health food store here in Mississippi in my local town. So I've always been in the nutrition side of supplements and things like that. So I've always been interested in that. But then when Mary Jo posted it in the group, I thought, this is something I need to try because it's been on my heart all year. This is the one product that I have never tried beyond owning a health food store. And so I said, well, what's it going to matter? And I ordered it. I got the product in, and 2 days I went from non-living to living. And I know I was telling you about my granddaughter, but I need to back up because last week when we had our possibility meeting, Jennifer, Hal, Lisa,
Yeah.
we had our possibility meeting. That week, I was actually challenged 3 times to write my story. So here is my story. So going all the way back to 2003, I had total hysterectomy, put on synthetic, and I'm reading from my list here, so pardon me. I was put on synthetic hormones. Through 2007, I tried to come off, go holistic, natural. So from 2007 to 2008, I was absolutely bedridden. Couldn't function, couldn't think straight. I was absolutely a non-existent person. So in 2009, I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia. Hurt from head to toe. My body ached. No one could touch my skin. It was just absolutely horrible. So they did put me on anti-inflammatory drugs, which was absolutely horrible. Dried my skin out. Caused a whole bunch of issues beyond that. The side effects of synthetic drugs. So 2014, I was diagnosed with hyperthyroid, which led me down the train of another synthetic drug. Hair falling out, dry mouth, dry skin. So 2016, I fell, fractured my left knee. I fractured it about 2 inches on the condyle bone, which is the big bone below the kneecap. Again, I was put on anti-inflammatories, really a lot more pain. And then this last year, we had 2 parents to pass, and then my mother was diagnosed with pancreatic and liver cancer. So in the back of my mind, I was thinking, am I going to be next? I mean, this is really what I felt because I'd had so much problems. And so I stayed with my mom. She was in hospice, me and Jennifer's mom. I stayed with her on hospice, and she passed March 19th. So a lot of clinical depression. So when all of this came about was when Mary Jo introduced me to this blessing, and I bought the blessing. I received it, and after 2 days, I came alive. And my passion is just to share that the world of pain and inflammation is not where you need to be. This is not where God wants you to be. This product has done so much for me. No more bodily aches and pains. I'm actually up functioning. I'm beyond functioning. So much energy, so much change that I don't, I'm still recognizing every day who I am as far as, the product. I'm also doing the ice, and I'm also doing the gel because my knee gets a little bit achy at night, but I'm doing the gel also. But I just cannot tell you what a blessing it was to find Ultracell and the positive effects that it's had on me. And if I can just help one person by sharing my story, then it's worthwhile. But I don't want to stop at one person. I want to share my life story with whoever needs it, because it's going to bring a positive effect in their life. And it's also going to bless me to bless others.
Amen.
Amen.
Right, thanks.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. And I'm so glad that you was able to come out, Penny, because like I said, y'all should have heard her when she called me, and it was like a new sister that I hadn't heard from in a long time. And it was just a blessing from what I heard from her. And I trust Penny because, like I said, she was all about holistic, and I've always wanted to go that route. And thank you so much for doing that for me, Penny.
Another benefit of it is that it helps you get along with your brother-in-law better.
And keep in mind,
Hey, Jennifer.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Jennifer, one of the things that's very emotional for me, and I know for Hal as well, just to sit and listen to Penny's story, because, you know, because we received this gift, and this is a pay it forward company, and I had no idea when I was trying to help my son that it would impact Penny.
Yeah.
And I think people who are listening to this have no idea who you know that needs this gift. And that is the moral obligation you have to share it.
And so, you know, I wrap up our meetings, and even when I talk to people, I just, you know, I say, having heard what you've heard, though you don't understand it all, you've heard the stories. And so with just the stories alone, is there any reason why you wouldn't, for yourself and for maybe beyond yourself, want to try this product, reach out and try it? Any reason why you wouldn't want to do that? And for those who could see it beyond themselves, why you wouldn't really seriously take a look at, get more information about how to build this business and share it with multitudes yourself? Is there any reason why you wouldn't want to do that? And I think the answer is no, just absolutely no. And so, you know, that's how I would kind of, from my side, kind of close up this webinar, which we greatly appreciate you doing.
well, I have to say,
I want to take my ultra dream and go to sleep.
Sleep 8 hours.
Yeah.
when a product works by itself, it sells itself. I mean, the effect is so noticeable. There is no way around it.
I know. Here's what I like is you get out there and people look at you. Of course, you know you're smiling constantly. So you walk into a place and you're smiling, everybody else starts smiling, and then they want to know why they're smiling.
Yeah.
Why are you smiling so much?
It ain't just love, baby. It ain't just love, even though that's a part of it.
All right, guys. Well, again, I want to thank y'all all again for coming tonight and sharing your stories. I believe that we, as a team, we're going to make a difference in a lot of people's lives. So again, guys, God bless every one of you. We love you, and we can't wait to see what the next phase will be.
All right.
Thank you, Jennifer. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Click on the button if you'd like to learn more.